Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews Podcast, where we discuss all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or anything in between, really. We'll come watch and give you our honest opinions. Today, I have joining me Q9000.
Hiya, dude.
How are you doing?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Very hot, because it's really clammy and hot. Gross.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's supposed to be getting hotter through the week as well. Unfortunately.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's supposed to be going up to like 30 or so degrees on by the weekend, I think. So, yay.
We get that thing where, as British people, we tell the world it's hot, and they're like, it gets much hotter than that in this country. People don't understand heat over here. It's oppressive, damp, terrible heat.
Yeah, agreed. Bloody heat. So today we are going to be discussing a film called The Blues Brothers, which was chosen by yourself, Kerr. Why? Why The Blues Brothers?
Because I just absolutely love the Blues Brothers. I watched it originally when I was young. I got really into their music to the degree I used to sing all the songs. And when I used to have scans for my epilepsy, I used to get the Blues Brothers soundtrack pumped into the scanning tube. MRI, that's it.
It's crazy that you used to have that music played into you at when you were having your epilepsy scans, because I don't know, I just wouldn't have thought, like, I've never had it done, so I wouldn't have thought they'd be playing that kind of music. I thought they'd be playing calming, soothing music.
The machine kind of like,
Yeah.
it's quite scary as a kid because it's like going in a torpedo tube and hearing vibrations. So I think they'll pump anything you want into it just to, because you have to be in them sometimes for like 45 minutes. So
Yeah, it's a long time.
it's a lot to take on board, especially if you're a kid. I don't think they do it as well, I don't remember them asking me last time I had an adult one, but
It's not right. They should have offered. They should have put a screen in there and then let you watch a film. Which you've been in for a while. Short film, like, but you know, a film. So yeah, Blues Brothers. I remember seeing this when I was younger, but I only remember like very early in the film, like up to the point where the building collapses, and then from there on, I can't remember shit. Like, I'm sure I was like quite young, and I was like up at stupid o'clock in the morning, and I'm sure it was on something like S4C, which is like the Welsh Channel 4, basically.
all right.
And so I'm sure I saw it on there, and I just like remember, like I said, very little of it. But yeah, the beginning bit I remember. Genuinely the funniest thing to me that I remember is not the haha funny in the sense of it's the funniest part of the film. It's funny to me that I remember the specific part about the trains making loads of noise. Like that's pretty much all I remember.
Oh, they pass so often that you'll never even notice or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, the film starts off with Jake Blues getting out of prison. You find out he's been in prison for 3 years for burglary? No, robbery. Armed robbery? Definitely robbery.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't go into exact depth of what he did, does it? And I'm not sure when he says later how much of it's bullshit, but you know, he's been in the slabber.
Yeah. So he gets out. His brother Elwood. I almost said Elroy. Elwood picks him up. Picks him up from prison, and then they go about their business. The end. Obviously it starts off with them just having a conversation and stuff about the car, He's like, what have we done with the Cadillac? He's like, oh, I traded it. Like, you traded it for this car? And he's like, no, I traded it for a mic. And he's like, oh, I can see why you would trade it for a microphone. And it's like, really? Really? Obviously he's unhappy with the new car because I believe it's an old police car. And then he shows him how fast it is, and they go over a jump on a bridge, and he's like, okay, it's pretty cool, but you need to fix the cigarette lighter, which is fair. I don't smoke, so. Obviously, it starts off quite mild in that regard, but then all of a sudden, like, Elwood gets pulled over by the police, and then from there on out, it just escalates so much. Like, I thought it was great. It's like, oh, he's been suspended from driving and stuff like that. And then they like, oh, well, we'll have to arrest him. And then he just drives off. And then there's a police chase. And it's like, oh, okay, they're just going to have a chase. But no, it's through a massive mall. And they like smashing into shops. There's 2 police cars chasing them. And it's genuinely pretty it's funny. It was genuinely funny watching that. Scene. Especially when they commented on all the things that, oh, they have one of these here. Oh, they have everything here. That kind of thing. And it's like,
oh, there's a toy store. Oh, look, there's the dining hall. But there's some great driving in that. But like the stunt people that are customers that are like running out the way. And
how many people died that day?
I mean, it does feel dangerous, doesn't it?
It does.
You sort of do wonder, how did they not clip anyone? Were there any accidents? Or because it's just frantic people running and screaming, and it just seems so real but funny.
Yeah, I think because of how absurd and over the top it is that's why it's funny. Like, and obviously, like, no one actually gets hurt or anything. Police flip over, and even that's funny because they flip over, they're sliding down the mall on the roof. And it just seems to take ages for them to stop, and it just keeps going back and forth, showing them sliding from inside the car to outside the car, and it's just like, are they ever going to stop?
It's very like Looney Tunes, isn't it?
It's very slapstick.
Almost a cartoon.
Yeah. Obviously, they escape the police by getting out of the mall, and the police don't. I think one of them obviously flips. I can't remember what happens to the second car. I think it crashes into another shop and gets stuck.
Yeah.
I think. But obviously they then go to see the Penguin, which is a nun. They call the Penguin. And as Jake said, promised that he would visit the Penguin when he gets out of prison. First thing he'd do. I'm not sure if this is actually before or after the police thing, where they visit the Penguin.
Oh, I think they visit the Penguin first, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Well, so they visit the Penguin first, and that was brilliant where they were talking to the nun, and Jake's like, you know, it's a bit tough shit, so she smacks him with a ruler. And then Elwood's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So she smacks him with a ruler. And then Jake's like, shit again. And they keep saying shit and Christ over and over and over. And it's just rapidly beating him with a stick, which I thought was great. And then she puts the ruler down, or it snaps even. So she grabs a bigger sticks and starts whacking them with them. Elwood manages to get out of his chair and run off down the stairs whilst being beaten. Whereas Jake is stuck in his chair and is getting hit by the nun with the stick. And obviously falls down the stairs, the chair breaks. And she's like, don't come back till you know, learn to behave or something like that. Not those words, but, you know, till you're good people. And she's like, oh, you, because one of them actually said, I think it might have been Elwood, is like, you really are a fat penguin.
I think my favourite bit in that is where he swore the first time and she says, what did you say? And he goes, I generously offered to lend you the money. You said no, so you're shit out of luck, and she smacks him again. I just thought, oh wow.
It
He
is
couldn't
good.
even manage to say it like clean without swearing.
Exactly. I was looking on Internet Movie Database because I was looking for like the age rating for this film, and it was originally AA, which I didn't have a clue what that was, but that seemed to be a thing before 1983, I think 82, something like that. Before it was like 15 and what have you.
Yeah.
What I noticed is like there are like 30 odd shits and 15 fucks and so on and so forth in the profanity list. Like, and I was like, oh, fair enough, they swore a lot more than I remembered.
It's quite amazing that this is something I was watching at like 6 years old, really. But I
Yeah,
suppose in the older days we weren't as sort of bothered about it,
no,
as long as there wasn't extreme sex or violence. It was,
yeah.
if it was a bit of swearing, it's like, meh, whatever.
Found my head on the microphone then. But yeah, him falling down the stairs was the highlight of that scene for me. And also,
Yeah, it was.
one of the things they were talking about, um, Jake and Elwood, they were talking about the band, and he's like, "Oh, so how are the band doing and what have you?" And like Elwood's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you exactly what happened." He's like, "Oh, well, you said the band was still together." He's like, "No, not really. The band are not really together." And he's like, "Well, why did you tell me they were?" and stuff like that. Like, well, I didn't want to tell you the thing the thing that was keeping you going. I didn't want to tell you that it wasn't there anymore. And he's like, "So you lied?" And he's like, "It wasn't a lie. It was just bullshit."
I just took the liberty of bullshitting you a little.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed this film. I don't think my missus enjoyed it as much as I did, to be honest. Um, I thought it was really daft, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm my head on my mic again. Why do I keep doing that today? Yeah, the film progresses then after the car chase. Basically, Elwood and Jake are getting the band back together, so they go to various different places to try and get the band back together, because I think they're like a blues band, which is,
Yeah.
what they are. I think it says R&B on the, I think it's what, rhythm and blues, rhythm and bass? I don't know, rhythm and blues. Don't quote me on that, I haven't got a clue. And so yeah, the first group is pretty much the easiest. The first few was like, oh, we don't know because we're making some money with this little gig we've got going. And they're like, no, you're going to come with us. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll do it. And then obviously from there on, it gets more difficult. Like the next person they try and get is working in a restaurant. And it's like a pretty fancy
Mr.
restaurant.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic. And obviously it's a really posh restaurant and they go sit down for food. Blues Brothers, that is. Which is funny because they don't like wait for a reservation. They just go and sit at any random table. And they like sitting there munching away on food and stuff. And then you got the family next to them who are like, oh, they call the waiter over, which is Mr. Fantastic. He's not a waiter, he's the person who sends people in, the door greedy person. I don't know what they're called.
Compare? Maybe.
Is that what it is? I haven't got a clue. I've never been to a posh restaurant. But he's like talking to the posh guy, and the posh guy's like, "Oh, can we move to a different table?" And he's like, "Why are these people disturbing?" He was like, "No, they haven't done anything. They just smell bad." It's funny though because one thing I mentioned is about the building blowing up, and obviously throughout the film, Carrie Fisher turns up just randomly and tries to blow Jake up with a rocket launcher kind of thing. Then she blows up the building with some sort of dynamite. Everyone survives, it seems like, or at least the police, John Candy, and the Blues Brothers survive. She turns up later in the film and tries to and tries to set him on fire with a flamethrower. The flamethrower makes the phone booth explode into the air. That lands on the floor. They are both fine. That's in the Blues Brothers fine. It's crazy, and yeah, I was like, why the hell is she like doing this? And it does explain later why. But obviously, that's like little snippets in between, which I think is pretty good actually, because it kind of breaks up sections quite well.
It's a good film for always having something happening and always doing slightly different jokes and stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
I love the bit in the restaurant where he turns around and starts talking to the man. And he's like, "Sell me your children. Sell me a woman."
Yeah, that was brilliant. And I was like, what the hell? He's really just doing anything he could just to get that Mr. Fantastic to come back. Like, and in the end, he relented because they threatened to come there every day for 3 meals, basically breakfast, lunch, and tea, I think, or breakfast, dinner, lunch, and dinner, whatever he said. I don't remember. But that's basically what happened. And yeah, when he's like, "Tell me your children," I was like, what the fuck? How much for the girls? I was like, what? Your daughters? And I'm like, wait a sec. I think he's trying to do a Russian accent, maybe. My accent's awful as whatever it is meant to be. But yeah, it was pretty out of the unexpected. I was not expecting him to say that. Like, but he did get his own way, and Mr. Fantastic did join the band again. I think the next person they went to see, again, I'm forgetting the characters' names.
Matt Guitar Murphy and Blue Lou.
Yeah, that's the ones. And they go to Elwood, and Jake go to visit them. And there's like I think it's the first time in the film there's like a proper singing thing going on with Aretha Franklin. I don't know why I couldn't say the name properly then. And it's quite funny though, because it's actually got quite a few big like soul and blues people in there, because like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin,
James Brown,
yeah, quite a few like.
Hooker.
So it's surprising, like they obviously got all those people in there to take part, which is good. The more the merrier. But yeah, so that happens with they go there and they ask for, can I have white bread toasted? And it's like not asking for toast, but white bread toasted. And then Elwood is like that, and then Jake's like, can I have 4 fried chickens? And she's like, and Aretha Franklin's like, you mean the legs or the wings? And he's like, no, 4 chickens. Daft, man. Obviously,
I like the fact that Matt Guitar Murphy knows it's them exactly from what he's ordered. When she goes in the back and moans, she's like, "I just had 2 guys dressed as a scenic diamond rustlers or whatever who want dry white bread, toasted, 4 fried chicken." He's like, "Shit, the Blues Brothers."
Oh, and don't forget the Coke as well. 4 whole chickens and a Coke. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and join the band. And then obviously Aretha Franklin's like, no, you ain't. And then they like, she sings at him for a bit, and then he's like, no, I'm going, and they do. But yeah, that's the first time in the film that I can think of where it's musical. Up until that point, like there's music in the background, but there's no like musical set pieces, like a musical. There's that, and then obviously there's
Ray Charles shake a tail feather in the music shop.
Yeah, and then there's like a couple more then after that, isn't there?
Yeah, there's the country and western bar they go to and play. And
Yeah.
they play
Rawhide, is it?
Rawhide.
Rawhide.
And then Stand By Your Man.
Yeah. And then there's Minnie the something Moolah.
Minnie the Moocher.
Moocher, that's the one I couldn't remember. Moolah. After I. But yeah, it's a long film, but it didn't feel like it was on. Like I think it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. It didn't feel like it was on for 2 hours and 13. And obviously, like a lot does happen. Like they
yeah.
Obviously from the getting out of the jail to the police chase to getting the band back together, which takes a while. There's the Nazis, which I thought was hilarious. In that, like, they don't give a shit about the Nazis. They try and run them over, but they all jump into the river and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna kill them." Then later in the film, the main two Nazis chase the Blues Brothers on like a freeway or motorway, as I would say, but on a freeway, and they like the Blues Brothers turn near the end of a well, they don't turn, they kind of almost go off the end of a road being constructed, and they stop in time, reverse, turn around, drive off. That's the Nazis. The Nazis don't, and they go off the end of it, and it is ridiculous how long they fall in for. It's like they fly into the air, like properly launch, as if they've got rockets up his ass, and gets launched into the air. Because it's like the car is higher than the buildings, like really tall buildings, and then it just falls through the fucking floor when it hits the floor. And then the Blues Brothers just jumps over the gap in their car and carries on driving. And that's what I liked about the end as well. It got so ridiculous. First of all, they were being chased by a couple of cop cars. Then there was SWAT. Then there was the army. There was the Nazis. There was loads and loads and loads and loads of different agencies. It was ridiculous.
Was it Horseback Rangers or something?
Yeah.
At one point?
Yeah. It's just so over the top. It's fantastic. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Obviously they do their gig, get the money, save the orphanage, because that's what they're trying to do, to save the orphanage, because they're on a mission from God, as Dan Aykroyd keeps saying. We're on a mission from God.
Jake comes up with these massive explanations of what they're doing, and all Elwood ever says is, "We're on a mission from God."
Yes, it's really good. And obviously, like, he explains Carrie Fisher's reason for trying to blow up the Blues Brothers. In the final time you see her, she shoots at them, misses them somehow, every single bullet. Explains to Jake how she was waiting at the altar, I believe. All her family was there, 300 odd people or something stupid. And he just didn't show up. I'm assuming it's because he was in jail. He could have said that, but he come up with all this. "I'm sorry, I ran out of gas. The car broke down. There was an earthquake, a typhoon."
Locusts.
And then he looks at her, takes his glass off, stares at her for a bit, and she's like, "Oh, Jake." They start kissing, and then he just drops her on the floor and runs off.
Yeah.
And she's like, I bet she was well pissed off. Great. Yeah, that's the reason why Carrie Fisher was trying to kill him through the entire film. And the thing is, I was looking at the credits, and I'm pretty sure like she's called Mystery Woman or something. There's no name.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder if Jake even remembered her name. He doesn't mention her name, does he? When he sees her.
No, I don't think he does.
He's just like, "Hey, baby," something like that. Anyway. Yeah, I enjoy this. It was daft, but it was really fun. I heard like the second film, is it Blues Brothers 2000, is meant to be quite bad.
We're gonna have to do that.
Are we really?
Blues Brothers 2000 is one of those films that everybody just about shits on. But I actually went to see it in the cinema on opening day because I like Blues Brothers so much.
Yeah.
And now, if you hype it up and go, "Oh, it's the next Blues Brothers," blah, 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 I can see why people would be disappointed because this film's phenomenal. But if you take it on its own merit, because like this film, there's a lot of blues stars in it and stuff, and a lot of cameos, and there's some good jokes. I don't think it's that bad. I just think you have to understand that you're not going to get an all-time classic like this again.
Yeah.
It's a lesser sequel, but it's not a bad film at all.
Oh, we'll have to check it out. Not today, but soon, maybe. But we still have other things to watch. Like, I don't know what yet, but we still have plenty of things to watch. Like RoboCop 2 and 3. Especially 3, because I heard it's very bad.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen a little bit of that,
is.
like with I'm pretty sure what I saw of RoboCop 3, I know this is a completely different film to what we're talking about, but what I saw about RoboCop 3 was like, I think it was Murphy was about to get killed and then somehow teleported back in time. I'm not sure if that's actually what happened, but that's what it seemed to be.
I don't remember that. I just remember jetpacks and samurai robots and stuff.
This is the thing, see, I'm wondering if I've like seen a bit of it and then misremembered it. Because it's totally possible.
There was a whole RoboCop TV series as well.
Yeah, there was. There's an animated one as well, wasn't it?
Cut up and turned into movies. Oh yeah, the RoboCop cartoon as well, which it's weird when you go back to like some of the old 80s, 90s stuff that was like hardcore 18 violence. There's kids series of it. There's a kids series of RoboCop. There's a kids series of Rambo.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it nowadays. You're not going to like get an 18 film nowadays and go, oh, do you know what this film about cold-blooded killer needs? What it needs is a Saturday morning cartoon spin-off.
Yeah. To do it with all adult films. And I don't mean adult film in that regard. I should really should have rephrased that, actually.
No, we don't need the Saturday morning cartoon of Debbie Does Dallas. That's
yeah, that's true. We don't. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I think it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. It's a little cheesy in some ways, but I think that works for it because it's just funny. Yeah, really good film. I would give this a good rating of something like 8, probably.
I'd give it a 9, but then again, that's why I chose it.
Yeah.
I love it and I put you through it.
Yeah, well, it's nice when a film gets picked and it turns out to be something I enjoy, because some of the films we've watched.
Yeah.
Every time I say to the missus, oh, I got a film for the podcast, she just gives me this dirty look as if to say, what shit are you going to make me watch now? Oh, there you go. It was alright when I love. I think that's a no. Yeah, there you go. What would you give her a rating of? Fair enough, she doesn't know. To be fair, my missus is strange in that you could put a really good film on and she'll be, it was alright. It's either alright or crap.
Yeah.
Never good, it's alright or crap. Yeah, she knows I'm talking about her. But yeah, anything else you would like to add about the film before we end? I was going to go through beat like I tend to do, but obviously we kept getting sidetracked and talk about different parts of the film, so I gave up on that idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've done a pretty long one here, really, compared to some of ours, but I suppose it's because we had a lot to say about it. I know for years it was on record as like having one of the biggest car crashes ever.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool thing about it, because I mean there is some bits where it's just like car hitting, and they're amazing to watch.
Yeah, in the street chase, cop chase at the end, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of cars that crash. A lot of cars that crash. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I would recommend anyone who enjoys a film to give it a look. But that is going to be us, I believe. So hopefully we will catch you again in a couple of weeks with another film, though I have no idea what that's going to be. We'll see. Well, take care, everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for taking part as well, Kerr.
You're more than welcome.
Bye, everyone.
lied to me. It wasn't lies, it was just bullshit.